In the position now, we have a situation where white has two rooks for a queen, with that's an advantage. And in addition to that, he's got an extra pawn, the a4 pawn, that is a passed pawn, a passer, and he's supposed to win. There's only one problem, though, and this is that the more we think about winning here, the more difficult it turns out for our pieces for our rooks to freely move, given that the rook on b4 has to defend both the a4 b6, and at the same time to stop the black queen from being able to make the perpetual. So really it comes down to one question. If white is supposed to fight for something more than just the drawish position, does he have any resource to complicate? Let's think about that. As always, when it comes to tactics, it's really not so much about finding the move, but it's about finding the idea. Often in order to find an idea, you have to think about your own features, like advantages, two very active rooks and a passed pawn restricting black's queen, and also the opponent's weaknesses, which certainly turns out is king. Let's think about that. Is there anything white can do to exploit these advantages and those weaknesses in a quick and favorable way? The g4 move is very beautiful. After that move, black's got a few choices. A couple of choices, but they really don't work. Like a move of queen and king h4 will be met by king h2 with the shot of rook takes h6. That is too dangerous. Like rook h6 will be followed by rook takes h5, and game is over. In fact, even the other move f takes g also doesn't work. The reason is because now we've got only one thing to deal with, and that's the pawn defense. The h6 and g5 being together are actually providing a pretty solid and sufficient protection to the black king. Therefore, the move of rook to h4 just destroys them all. After rook h4, g takes h4, and rook b5 check, we win the black queen and at the same time create a passed pawn that there is no way on how black could stop. Taking there with the king also leads to rook takes h6. And it's a nice pattern to always think about the amount of squares that the opponent's king has, because sometimes it really is all about just taking away those squares. g4 followed by rook h4 is a fantastic way of doing it. Very beautiful example and a game to follow.